It's pan-fried okra season. I'm going to show you how my mama made it.
It's the middle of the summer and we're making pan-fried okra. But I don't have fresh okra because our garden did great, except the okra did not. The drought had something to do with it, but anyway, you can do the same method with fresh okra. Today, I'm using frozen. This brand. I have one whole bag and then a half a bag. So this is a 24-ounce bag, so I've got one 24-ounce bag and then half of another. The reason I'm not doing both bags is simply because my pan is only large enough for this amount. And it's important to know when you're frying okra, you need to make sure you have plenty of surface area in your pan. So I'm just starting out with it frozen. I haven't thawed it. If you thaw it, it gets slimy. So I recommend not thawing it at all. Just take it right out of the freezer if you're using frozen okra. And I'm using 1% buttermilk. You can use whole buttermilk, doesn't matter. But I want just enough to cover the okra. And use your clean hand and give it a toss. The purpose of this buttermilk is to help the crust to adhere to it. Now, this is not deep fried okra. This is the way my mama used to fry okra. She always did shallow frying on most everything. Most of her vegetables, most of her meats were shallow fried because she felt like it was wasteful to deep fry things. I actually happen to agree with her, but everybody likes different things. All right, so I've just covered that well with the buttermilk. Normally, I would just season this well and use self-rising or all-purpose flour, sprinkle it on there. But I am out of flour. The only thing I have in my pantry that even resembles flour at the moment is this. This is House of Okra chicken breader. It already has seasoning in it. So I'm going to season this a little, and then I'm going to add some of this breading mixture, coat the okra. Now, that breading already has a little salt in it, so I'm going to go easy on the salt, but heavy on the pepper because you know I'm a pepper girl, and I'm putting onion powder in here. And I'm going to give that a toss until it has coated all of the okra. We're not looking for a really thick coating. So I'm going to sprinkle a little, that's probably 2 tablespoons, and give it a toss and just see what it looks like. All right, I can tell some pieces are missing some of that coating, so I'm going to put just a couple more tablespoons in there. If you're not familiar with House of Okra breading mixture, it's really delicious on chicken, pork. They have a pork version for it, but this is wonderful for frying chicken. But yeah, it's got wheat flour and corn flour in it. So you can use plain flour, and then you can offset it with add a little cornmeal to it as well. Let me show you what it looks like. Okay, it's not a thick coating at all. I'm heating oil in a non-stick skillet. You can do this in a very well-seasoned cast iron pan. Just make sure you have a matching lid for it because you're going to need a lid to cook this. I'm using a non-stick skillet. I would not recommend this method using stainless steel unless you have some excellent stainless steel pans that don't stick. And when you find out what they are, let me know. I'd like to know what the name brand is. So we're just going to go over to the stove and we'll drop this into the hot oil, and I'll show you what to do from there. All right, the oil is up to temperature. So this is why I stopped with 1.5 bags of this. This is hanging out on medium heat. I'm going to pop a lid on it and just let it cook. The lid will stay on until the okra is tender. When the okra is tender, then we'll start flipping it. When the okra is fork tender, and it is, the lid comes off. The lid stays off for the remainder of the cooking process. We're not going to disturb this right now because it's not browning yet, but when it starts to brown, we'll flip this in sections. Okay, so it started to brown some. I'm going to take this and flip it in sections, trying not to stir it. If you stir it, it tends to break apart. So I'm just flipping it in sections. Let it hang out, and in a few minutes, we'll come flip it again. You really have to be patient with the okra. Very patient, because if you stir it too much, it breaks apart and it gets slimy. All right, we're on our last flip now, and then we'll remove this from the pan. And what I want to do is try to drain as much of that oil off of it when I remove it from the pan, and I'll put it in a serving dish.
And there you have it, just like my mama made it. And that's the perfect bite.